Sometimes I wondered whether my bullet really hit somebody, I said. When the shots are fired, you get the hang of it, and killing people seems exciting. At a time when she should have been in high school, Ida was learning how to fire an M16 rifle and move quickly to avoid military raids. She was recruited as a child soldier into the New People's Army, an armed group of local communist movement in the Philippines. She was first tasked with relaying messages from the commander to the field groups and vice versa. Then she became a radio operator while also acting as a squad leader. Being responsible for other people was distressing. It's either they die or I die in the crossfire, because I'm the one leading them, Ida said. She was one of the 5 women aged 15 to 17 who were interviewed by the Quaker United Nations office for a report on girl child soldiers in 2003. This account was from an article addressing the problems of child soldiers. Children are being taken from their homes, and families serve as a misguided thought of a changed government. Children in the Philippines are being used as soldiers to fight for the militia against the government, and that act abuses human rights. People should not be compelled to join an organization. This clearly violates the 3rd and 4th Articles of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which states everyone has a right to life, liberty, and the security of person, and no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Fighting at a young age affects the children's childhood and the entirety of their lives. The issue at large is that young people are being forced to fight in a militia that they have never wanted to even join or fully understand the consequences in their young minds. The government and militia leaders are using these defenseless children to benefit their organization through exploitation. And the leaders are still taking advantage of the citizens today. Currently, children's rights are being violated. They are usually used as sentries, runners, and managers of guns and other non-combat and combat. This impacts the children because they have no time for play and no resources for school. The situation is physiologically harmful to children. These children are not able to enjoy their childhood because they are forced to grow up quickly. The United Nations General Assembly met July 2013 to address how the children are involved in the civil conflict in the Philippines need to go to school and not fight. The United Nations came up with an action plan to prevent and end the recruitment of children. While the fighting has had a ceasefire since 2012, there are still operatives who wish to reignite the conflict and often try to recruit children from their villages or families into the conflict. Children are lured by economic gain or encouragement of family members. There have been United Nations resolutions and treaties passed to keep children from being forced to join an organization involved in armed conflict. These also kept the children safe from recruiters. Article 28(1)(a) of the Convention of Child Rights ensures have the opportunity to go to a public and free elementary school and get a proper education that will help them achieve great things in the future. Article 38 of this document discusses how mercenaries and militias are prevented from taking children and forcing them to fight for a cause. This problem for children in the armed conflict situation has been addressed since 1989. The United Nations began to address the issue of children in armed conflict when the children of many countries were being used as soldiers in their armies. The increasing problem finally reached the United Nations, and officials decided on creating that action plan to stop the threat. The Philippine government and the United Nations wanted to eliminate this threat in their country, and the Philippine government signed and accepted a Convention of Rights of the Children in 1990. Within the last 15 years, the Philippine government has made militaristic efforts to push them back, the militia back, to stop them from taking the children from their homes. They should create small outposts close to the village and keep keep a watch on the children. They should also create checkpoints within the roads to see if there are children or lethal weapons in the vehicles. They even should throw in some patrols to help monitor the perimeter to ensure the fullest protection amongst the villages. The government has made some advances to help children and the threat, but it is slowly but surely disappearing. It has been 7 years, and there has been a lot of action to solve this event. For example, the Secretary General criminalized the recruitment of the children by forces issued by the military, and appointed child protection services have been also put there. The Philippine government should have a better military to eliminate the rebellions. It should create a better police system that will be more effective monitoring criminal behavior. And it should work with the opposition to ensure that children will never again be soldiers.